What is up, guys? This is your boy Joe and welcome to another Wild Rift video. So today I'll be explaining runes, and for those who are new to Wild Rift, for those who just are getting started into it, this time we're recording the release of the open beta is gonna be tomorrow for the Asian countries, as you know, and I'm gonna go through all these runes and try to explain what they're good for, what champions they are for, who are they suitable for. But remember, runes are gonna be adaptive onto who you're playing against, what champion they're playing, what's your play style that will suit you, your team composition. So I have no script on this, so bear with me, guys. But before that, I upload Wild Rift contents 3 times a week, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. Alright, let's start. Okay, so the first rune that we're gonna go through is Electrocute. So basically, Electrocute is used for champions that are burst damage dealers. For example, let's say Airy. Zed is a very good Electrocute champion. So basically, champions that have multiple skills that can burst down enemies. Jarvan, you can even use Jarvan as Electrocute. Yeah, Jax, you can arguably use him, but he's more of an on-hit champion. So we're gonna go through another rune which is more suitable for Jax. When enemies go into, like, let's say 30% HP, you can blow them up with Electrocute. Pretty much. Alright, let's go to the second one, which is Airy. So basically, a lot of champions can use Airy. It's basically when you use a skill, this Airy or this cute little thing will go into the enemy and give an additional damage. And when you use a support skill to your ally, it will give them shield. Yep, shield. As well, so it's an increased support capability. So a lot of champions can utilize on Airy. You can put you can put damage dealers on Airy just to layer that additional damage as well. So let's see what champions can utilize Airy the best. Orianna is a great Airy champion. Basically, her first skill is a great harass. You can proc Airy. Airy will do another layer of damage, and his Orianna's third skill is grants shield, and the Airy adds another shield on top dots. So it's very good. Let's say Soraka. Soraka uses his first skill as an harass. With Airy, his heal provides additional shield if you use Airy, so it's gonna be pretty good. Lux can use Airy. His third skill has very long range, very great for poke. Airy as well, you could use Airy just to bring that additional damage. Yep. Now let's go to Conqueror. So Conqueror, it says gain stacks of adaptive force when hitting a champion with separate attacks and abilities. Stacks up to 5 times. So basically, when you hit the enemy with multiple skills and then basic attack, it will stack them up, and when it's fully stacked, you deal bonus adaptive damage to champions. So bonus adaptive damage means that if you're an ability power, you deliver ability power damage, and if you're attack damage, you bring an additional attack damage to the enemy. So basically, it's more for bruiser type champions. Let's go here, and Jax is one of those champions. Tryndamere, Yasuo, Fiora, Lee Sin, they're very great on Conquer, because they can proc it very easily with skills and basic attacks. Olaf as well, and yeah, Yi is really good at Conquer. And next rune is Fleetwork. So Fleetwork provides great mobility and sustainability. So moving and attacking, casting builds energy stacking. So you have to move around to stack these runes. So at 100 stacks, your next attack heals you and grants increased movement speed. Fleet footwork is best for marksmen to survive early laning, as well as kiting. They need to kite around when enemies gap close to them. So fleet footwork really helps to bring that gap to your advantage. So the champions mostly they're gonna use fleet footwork are marksman. Vayne is a great fleet footwork champion because she has already have a passive of movement speed, which good Vayne users they're untouchable basically. Varus is a great fleet footwork user. Jinx as well, and Ashe. These are very great champions for fleet footwork. Next up is the Grasp of the Undying. So this is basically for tanks, champions that have high health, and so every 4 seconds in combat, your next attack on a champion will be enhanced based on your max health. So the more health you have, the more damage the Grasp of the Undying gives. This is gonna be good for top lane tanks that needs to have a sustain, especially in early game. So who are they best for? Dr. Mundo is one of the best champion for Grasp of the Undying. Yeah, Dr. Mundo, Malphite, Alistar could be, but Alistar is mostly played on support. Could be played on top as well. Garen, Nasus is pretty good at the Grasp of Undying because he needs to sustain while he's stacking his Q damage. I mean his first skill. Q is what they call in League of Legends, but this is Wild Rift. Alright. Next up is Aftershock. So after immobilizing an enemy champion, gain defenses and later deal a burst of magic damage around you. So this is pretty good for champions that initiate for team fights. Let's say Alistar. When you go in, you proc the Aftershock, you deal AoE damage plus your combo, so it keeps you tanky when you go on the front line. So what are the champions that are gonna benefit from Aftershock? Blitzcrank as well, so when you pull the enemy, they get an additional damage. Vi is used mostly for engaging as well. Who else could be? Malphite is pretty good at Aftershock as well. So after your ult, you deal an additional AP damage to your surrounding. Malphite is AP, so it's a pretty good scale for him. The next one is the Font of Life. So in League of Legends, this is not one of the main runes, so it's added here in Wild Rift to be one of the main runes. It says impairing the movement of an enemy champion marks them. Allies who attack marked champions heal based on your max health. So this is pretty good for tanky supports. So marksmen and the supports go together, and basically you auto attack or do some ability on the enemy, and then when the marksman auto attacks the enemy, they heal for a certain amount based on your max HP. So let's say Alistar is pretty good. You could say a Mumu could use it. Last but not the least is Kleptomancy. So after using an ability, your next ability hit or attack on an enemy champion will grant you a random item effect. So it's gonna be used for champions that basically use poke. This rune is very RNG based, so you don't know what the item effect could go out. So it's pretty exciting, and it's also quite OP when you land a pretty good RNG early game. I'm not gonna go through all the sub runes because they're pretty much self-explanatory. Some of them add attack damage, physical damage, ability power, increase armor and resistance, increase heal and shield, cooldown, and other utilities. So I think that's it for the runes. I hope it helped you in some way and give you a better understanding of what they're for. See you guys in the next video. Happy gaming.